Jedi Survivor begins 5 years after the events of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, as we start with Cal being captured and transported to Level 2046 on Coruscant. A group of CSF officers plan on handing him over to Senator Sagen. After going through several security checkpoints, Cal is handed over to the senator along with his lightsaber. It's here we learn what Cal has been up to since we last saw him, sabotaging the Empire as much as he possibly can while working with Saw Gerrera. The senator wants Cal to give up the locations of any remaining Jedi, with Cal responding that it's just him left. It's then revealed that the entire beginning was a setup. The senator had military intel stored in his yacht that Cal wants. While stopping that yacht, Cal's plan goes slightly sideways and he's forced to take a detour. It's here we meet Bode, a member of the crew that pretended to capture Cal. After fighting through groups of stormtroopers, we learn a little bit more about Bode. While credits don't hurt him, he does these kind of jobs to provide for his daughter, Kata, being the only parent after her mother was taken by the Empire. A little while later, we meet up with Bravo, the twins, and Gabs, and go over the plan of why the yacht is so important. It contains military intel that can be used to fight the Empire. After a bit of work, we make it aboard and confront the senator once again. By using a Jedi mind trick, Cal convinces the senator to unlock his terminal. But this just shows Cal just how big and wide the Empire has gotten despite Cal's efforts the last few years. We're then told by the senator how he's handled the past years, cutting deals so that the people of Utapau can live, suggesting that Cal should do the same, strike a deal. Cal refuses and we head outside, only for things to completely fall apart. It's here we see the ninth sister from the first game as she kills the senator. Gabs and the twins are killed as the group is attacked, and Cal goes after the ninth sister. After defeating her in combat, we learn her real name, a Jedi Knight named Masana Tide. Cal states he will set her free and then proceeds to decapitate her. Cal meets back up with Bravo and Bode on the way to the hangar, where they go over the new plan: get off the planet and transmit the data to Saw. Everyone takes their own ship, with Cal piloting the Mantis. Bravo dies during the escape, but Cal and Bode manage to make it. Cal then sends the intel to Saw and then takes a trip down memory lane, back when Grease, Marin, Seer, and Cal were all together. We see Cal and Seer talk about the Jedi, Marin talking about how big the galaxy was, but also one day wanting to return back to Dathomir, and the gang eating together as a family. With the Mantis severely damaged, Cal decides to enlist Grease to help on the planet Kobo. After much platforming and fighting enemies, some of which include even battle droids, we arrive at the town. Immediately, we stop an execution of a creature named Turgle by the Bedlam Raiders and their leader, Ravis. Turgle has sold them a relic, but as it turns out, it was a fake. Ravis is impressed after Cal dispatches his goon and agrees to leave as long as Cal lowers his weapon. After heading inside, we meet up with Grease, who now owns the saloon. Cal admits to Grease that things are getting hard, with him trying so hard with little results to show for. Down in the basement, they talk even more, with things getting a bit more serious. While Grease really wants to help, he also wants Cal to stop, settle down, and think about himself. Cal responds saying that he had a home once with the Order, which was destroyed. Grease sends Cal down the smuggler's tunnel to look for equipment to fix the Mantis. After finding what he needs, Cal and BD-1 fall further down and eventually walk into an old Jedi chamber. Cal touches a destroyed droid and experiences a flashback to the High Republic era, seeing the droid talk to her master, Centauri Kree. The droid is about to have her memory wiped at the Council's request. We then learn the info wiped is how to navigate the Kobo Abyss. The droid, now named Z, is being sent underground by Centauri. After Cal frees Z, we learn more about Tanalorr. It's a planet hidden in the Kobo Abyss and is home to a Jedi temple. After reaching the surface, we head back to Grease to give him the equipment. Bode has also arrived, and everyone does their introductions. Cal is told by Z to open the Forest Array, as she's too damaged to do it herself. After many puzzles and many fights, we make it to the Forest Array, where the key to Tanalorr should be. Activating the device, Cal finds an individual in a Bacta tank, taking us again to the past. We see Dagan Gera, who is the one in the tank, and Centauri Kree on Tanalorr, marveling at its beauty. Dagan is a Jedi Knight who spearheaded finding the planet in the first place. The two discuss building a Jedi temple, seeing as the Force is very strong there. The plan is to train Jedi on this planet, even though reaching it itself is quite difficult. The council will need to see it for themselves before they decide, and so they do. But while they're checking the place out, the planet is attacked. Dagan sees Cal during this attack and tells him to release him in the current timeline, which Cal does. Turns out that was probably a mistake, as Dagan is not the nice guy Cal assumed he was. As Cal tells Dagan about recent events, such as the Republic collapsing, and wanting him to fight alongside him, Dagan tells him what happened on Tanalorr. It was invaded, but Dagan managed to hold it off until the Jedi Council gave the order to abandon the planet completely. And Dagan didn't like that very much. We then see Dagan change his lightsaber to red and attack Cal. Cal defeats him in round 1, but Ravis helps Dagan escape. Cal catches Bode and Grease up to what just happened, and they plan their next move. Grease will pilot the Mantis once again, and they head off to Jeddah to talk to Cere. A dust storm is ongoing, so an easy landing isn't in the cards. On his way to meet up with Cere's contact, Cal runs into Merrin, who helps him deal with a group of stormtroopers. Merrin's been exploring the galaxy, which also includes returning to Dathomir. But she does visit Cere from time to time. When she heard Cal was coming, she offered to be his escort. Merrin and Cal camp out and wait for the storm to end. They reminisce on what's been going on, and Cal tells Merrin about Tanalorr. Doing so will mean Cal has to leave the fight, something he doesn't know if he can even do. They both say they missed each other, as Merrin says she found herself as she was exploring the galaxy. The two get close and they fall asleep. When Cal wakes up the next day, the weather is cleared and they're ready to head to Cere's. Upon arriving, they're greeted by Master Eno Cordova, the Jedi Master we were introduced to in the first game. It's here that we learn that Cere is trying to rebuild the Jedi archives in a hidden base on this planet. They're part of a network called the Hidden Path. They help those the Empire is after, meaning Jedi and any Force-sensitive individuals. They both discuss their unique ways of helping the galaxy when they were apart from one another. The entire group reunites, and Cal tells Cere about Tanalorr and Dagan. Cordova tells the group that there could be a clue in the laboratory on the moon of Kobo, and to report back with whatever is found. After traversing the shattered moon and learning the crossguard stance, we accomplish the mission. Now we go back to Kobo. Cal finds another broken device and sees the past yet again, where Jedi destroyed the device so that Dagan couldn't get a hold of it. Back to Jeddah to give it to Cordova. There we learn that there are two devices that are just duplicates of each other, but both are destroyed beyond repair. We then are tasked with saving Armias, as his capture would put the Hidden Path at risk. Once we find him, he gives us the contact codes to bring back to Cere and is then killed. Cal and Merrin on their way back have to take out this thing using Merrin's portals, but first they discuss trusting each other and they kiss. With the machine gone, Cal and Merrin make their way back to Cere. Once we get back, we learn a history lesson from Cordova. Hundreds of years ago, the Republic made a colony on Kobo to study the Abyss. The attempts to navigate it failed until Dagan managed to make it through. Using the data, Kree made a compass to guide other people to Tanalorr. A Jedi temple was built, but Outer Rim marauders invaded the planet. The Republic abandoned the planet, and Dagan was ordered to destroy the compass. He refused, and he rebelled against the Jedi with Ravis's help. It's then revealed there is one compass still out there, and it's potentially not damaged. With Merrin on board, the gang heads back to Kobo. Upon arriving, the gang discovers the town has been attacked, and Z has been kidnapped. Figuring she contains more info than they thought, Cal and Bode go after her. After fighting their way through the base where Z is being kept, Cal and Bode discuss the future, with Bode suggesting that Cal should embrace a future with Merrin if he truly feels something for her. They're interrupted by battle droids and they have to split up. Cal, while making his way through the base, is caught by Ravis. He attempts to stab him through the chest, which doesn't work. Ravis takes the device from Cal, and then Cal escapes. A bit later, Cal eavesdrops on Ravis and Dagan talking. We hear Ravis tell Dagan that Cal could be his equal, and he is a threat. Dagan sends a droid to activate the Forest Array, while he sends Ravis to the Shattered Moon to look for the third compass. Ravis then tells Dagan that once this is all done, his oath to him will be settled. They split up after Dagan says he'll reprogram Z to serve him. Cal finds Z, but as he's freeing her, Dagan walks in. Cal tells Dagan how disgusted he is in him betraying the Jedi, and we begin an epic fight. Cal takes the device back, and then round 2 begins. Bode comes in to help, but Dagan escapes. With Z safe, everyone boards escape pods and heads for the outpost on Kobo. Next up is the Shattered Moon to go after Ravis and that third compass. Landing this time isn't as easy though, as vulture droids have surrounded the moon. Merrin cloaks the Mantis and the gang makes it through. On his way to Ravis, Cal sees the past once again. Dagan wants Centauri to go with him, while Centauri claims Dagan has lost his way. Dagan goes for the compass, and Centauri cuts off his arm, and then she puts him in that Bacta tank. Cal next confronts Ravis, who has already turned on the array. Ravis tells Cal his backstory. Dagan bested him in combat, so Ravis now serves him, helping him destroy the Jedi that betrayed him. Ravis was captured and denied a warrior's death, instead being imprisoned for centuries. Cal asks for the compass, to which Ravis says he owes Cal nothing, and if he wants info, he'll have to fight him for it. Cal wins the fight and Ravis yields. He then tells Cal the location of the third compass, which is at Centauri Kree's observatory back on Kobo. Ravis opened the path there and Dagan is already on the way. Cal offers to team up and to fight Dagan together, to which Ravis declines, and then asks Cal to give him his warrior's death, which Cal does. Cal catches the group up on the Mantis and they head back to Kobo. On the way there, Cal and Merrin talk about Dagan and how his situation reminds Cal of himself. He doesn't want to become like that and wonders why no one saw his turn coming, and he fears losing himself. To which Merrin responds that if that were to happen, she and the group will guide him back. Now we head back to the observatory where the Empire is fighting with the Bedlam Raiders and droids. Fighting their way up, Cal and Bode finally make it to Dagan, where Dagan questions why Cal is fighting him at all and is furious with him and the Jedi for falling to this pathetic Empire. His plan is to train his disciples in the Force at the Jedi Temple in Tanalorr, and when the time is right, crush the Empire and claim the galaxy for himself. This fight is a bit different as Dagan dominates it much more, even nailing a very serious hit on Cal at the end. But right before he's about to kill him, Cal uses a nightmare hallucination on Dagan, pretending to be Centauri. Cal kills Dagan and takes the compass, although it's damaged. Cal sees something in Dagan's idea and wants to use the temple in similar ways. He wants to use it for the hidden path, train and gather allies, and use it to defeat the Empire, even saying that Bode and his daughter should stay there. Cal thinks Cordova can fix it, and we head back to Jedha once again. Cordova says the compass can be repaired and he gets to work, while the gang heads outside for a little hangout. Cal asks Cere if she'll go to Tanalorr with him, to which she says she will. Cere tells Cal that his master would be proud of the Jedi he's become, and the gang toasts to Tanalorr. Cere goes to prepare the archives for relocation, while Cal and Bode get to talking about his daughter, and how hopefully she sees all that he's been doing for her. Bode leaves to record a bedtime story for Kata, and Merrin comes back. Cal finally confesses that he likes her, with Merrin stating that it took him long enough, and they share a longer kiss. The next morning, we learn that Cordova has fixed the compass, but right before they can do anything, they learn the Empire is on the way, and Bode takes the compass. He kills Cordova, and he runs for it. Cal goes after Bode to get the compass back, which leads us on a speeder bike chase. Eventually, Cal does catch up to Bode, where he tells him that he's not giving the compass to the Empire, but that Cal should return back to the group as a huge threat is on the way. He then reveals by force-pushing Cal that he is a Jedi who survived the Purge. Bode defeats Cal, knocking him off the cliff and shooting him. Cal passes out, and we are told to respawn. When we awaken, we're playing as Cere, defending the archives against the Empire, and might I say, she's incredibly powerful. Cere and Merrin hold the Empire back, but Cere needs to get to the archives to get the hidden path contact codes. Cere gives BD the codes and says, go back to the Mantis, and then we get a fight for the ages. Darth Vader has arrived, and he intends to kill Cere. They engage in an epic battle, and Cere gives Vader his money's worth, besting him even. But as she goes in for the final blow, she is killed. Vader escapes injured, and Cal arrives as Cere is dying. He holds her in his arms as the archives have now been destroyed. Merrin and Grease see that Cere has been killed, while also being glad that Cal survived. Cordova and Cere's bodies will eventually be buried, but Cere was successful in handing off the hidden path code. Cal questions why he wasn't able to sense Bode, but Grease cuts him off, saying that none of what Bode did is on Cal, it's on him. Using a locator beacon, they're able to locate where Bode went to, the Nova Garen system, where his daughter is also located. After arriving, Cal realizes they're on an Imperial Security Bureau base, the Empire's secret police force, which Bode also works for. Fighting through the base, we meet its commander, Denvik. Cal gets him to call off the base's security, but also learns that he was the one that sent Bode to infiltrate the team back on Coruscant. Denvik tells Cal he's been commanding Bode for quite some time, but that he didn't know about the Jedi operation, that it was supposed to be months later. He also says that Bode led Cal there on purpose to destroy the base, but then Cal knocks him out. Cal disguises himself in a uniform to make it further into the base, where eventually he makes it into Bode's room, where he's able to learn a little bit more about Bode's past, including when he lost his wife. While looking at a data disk, Cal is interrupted by Kata. They get to talking about how mean Bode is, but then guess who walks in? We learn that Bode was a Jedi working in intelligence during the Clone Wars. He took what he learned and he went into hiding after Order 66. But then he met Kata's mom. One day he got a message saying the Inquisitors were after him, and then his wife bought him enough time to escape, but Bode knew he couldn't hide forever, so he cut a deal to work for the Empire while they protected him and his daughter. He intends to use Tanalorr to get away from everything with his daughter and couldn't let Cal give it to a bunch of strangers. Bode uses being a father as an excuse for his action, and he books it. Cal is very upset by this and taps into the dark side to fight his way out of the base. He almost snaps on Denvik as he's the reason Cere is dead. Merrin talks some sense into him and brings him back to the light. They leave the base and in effect leaving Denvik for Darth Vader. With the compass gone, there's only one way left to get to Tanalorr, activating the 3 arrays and aligning them with the messages that Centauri Khri had sent. This will give them a flight path through the abyss. So back to Kobo we go to do just that. Cal aligns the arrays and tells Z to activate them when the Mantis is in position. The gang boards the Mantis and it's time to go through the abyss. It's a close call, but Merrin and Cal talk up Grease's confidence and they make it through. Grease stays with the ship as Cal and Merrin make their way to Bode. On the way, they discuss what they'll do, but agree upon letting him surrender peacefully, as they have to think about his daughter. They reach Kata, where they ask to be taken to her dad. Bode's surprised Cal made it, but decides he needs to kill Cal and Merrin to protect his daughter. Cal gives him a chance to stop, surrender, and live in Tanalorr with them, an offer that Kata wants as well. Bode doesn't accept, and we start the fight. Cal wins and tries one more time to talk some sense into Bode. Bode yields, but then asks if Cal will be able to protect his daughter from the Empire if they were to find Tanalorr. They both know the answer to that, and Bode then gets the upper hand on Cal. He force chokes Merrin, almost killing her before Cal manages to escape his chokehold. They both go for guns, but Bode's is broken. Cal shoots him twice, killing him. Merrin talks to Kata about herself when she was younger, losing her family and how she dealt with it. She didn't do great, but then she met Cal, and they both helped each other move past the pain. Kata tells Merrin that losing her mother changed Bode as well as herself. The conversation ends with Merrin telling Kata she can't let the pain consume and define her. A burial is done for the deceased, which includes Cere and Bode. Cal promises to continue Cere's legacy, to build something that can outlast the Empire, but that he's scared, seeing that he almost lost himself to the dark side multiple times. Cere appears to Cal and simply tells him, guide her through the darkness. After the credits, the gang discusses what's next, transforming Tanalorr into their home, getting the hidden path and the anchorites there. Merrin gives Cal the compass, which will make getting to Tanalorr much easier, and then Cal gives that compass to Kata.